Welcome back, friends. In this video, we're going to work on a simple and quick little Dilophosaurus swamp enclosure for the 8th clock spot. This spot would normally be taking 8 hours to make, but because of real life events, I've had to fail my own challenge and abandon the timings if I want to get this challenge done before the next big update. So, while past Ellie begins on the landscaping, I want to briefly apologize for my long absence. If you don't want to listen to my real life story, feel free to use the chapters below to skip it. I was not intending to be gone for so long. For that, I'm sorry. I have missed working on videos and interacting with my subscribers. It felt good to be back when I worked on Plentiful and the second half of this enclosure, as I did the first half a few weeks back. The last time I released anything previously, I was coming down with an illness, and from there I was sick a few more times. I also had to switch my schedule from night shift to day shift, and boy, it feels like I have so much less free time now. Beyond that, my partner and I spent a little under a week doing some car hunting, since our old car was beginning to show its age and was about to start costing us too much in maintenance and gas to keep it. These much nearer weeks and the weeks going forward, my time has been and will be also a bit tight as we're purchasing a new home and moving. This change will be great for the channel though, as once we move into our home, we won't have any roommates and I'll be moving to full-time streaming and recording. I hope you all join me in the new adventure going forward. Pending any unforeseen issues, we'll be in the new house and set up and rolling by the end of June 2026. My personal life aside, let's talk about this enclosure. So, I originally wanted to work on a wetland swamp enclosure to kind of practice making the plant life and rocks work naturally with the water, given that in Update 18 we're getting wetlands. I had originally thought it was coming out with 17 due to some slightly vague wording that my brain just didn't figure out until later on. Either way, it's good to have a mix of biome types, as so far the biomes have been prairie, forested, tropical, desert, or scrubland in the clock. And we're working on enclosure 8, which means there's doubles. This enclosure felt really awkward to me, and I acknowledge I need to do more work on swamps and wetlands. But as a whole, I think it came in really nicely at the end. I think a lot of my issue is there's not much in between sizes of trees and foliage that blends from the large swampland forest in the back and the small little foliage in the front. I tried to do some blending with the mangrove trees and some other types, but it still feels too drastic. When I first started it, I had just planned out a river and pond and went, nah, I do that a lot already. So I switched to the more shallow, murky water space. I tried really making it shallow to give the appearance of those murky, still water swampy areas that you think would be deeper but are only deep enough to give you a mud-filled booter. Regional word for wet shoe. What do you call a shoe that has been overflowed by a puddle or surprise body of water where you are? Here it's booter. I think I did really good on the level of the water and the little mucky islands and beach. I also made the terrain painting around the water be muddy and the grass a little sparse, blending into more lush and drier grass. Although I'm still fighting with the terrain painting tool blending the way I'd like, so I eventually just had to say it's good enough. I'll have to spend a lot more time on my own trying to figure out how it works better, or maybe tune into some other YouTubers and see what they do. It's very likely user error. I had placed in some rocks, but in my area, large rocks are not always present in swampy areas, although I forgot to add in the small rocks, which would be normally present. Aside from all that, I really enjoyed watching this species after the build. They have good animations and seem very energetic, although as with all their species, there is some level of listlessness where they just kind of move to boring areas or just moving slightly before getting caught in an animation loop of turning, sniffing, stepping, turning, sniffing, stepping, and so on. though they seem to break the loop more often than some other species. Let me know what species or biomes or even games you'd like to see coming up, as when I start this full time, I'll need some interesting ideas to keep rotating through. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll be back with more soon. I am really sorry that it's a very short one. Getting back into the flow has been a little bit harder than I anticipated. Again, like I mentioned, it feels like I don't have as much time now that I'm on day shift as I did when I was on night shift. That is the way it goes. Anyways, take care.